Busy. There he is. Oh, better make sure this is on. Boom. So, if some of the followers can think back to March, April of last year, when I first got the Commodore. My wife got it for me for our anniversary, our 10th anniversary. Yep. Pretty sure. Anyway, it needs an update. I was going to do a lot more on it. I really wanted to get into sort of not hugely modifying it, but just doing bits and pieces because it's my favorite model. It's the VE 08 VE Series 1. I don't mind the Series 2s. I even love the V8s even more, but I could, but I'm not going to. Maybe one day. My mother actually has the V8 of it. And other. Anyway, so it's clinking and clattering. And the mechanic tells me it could be the bearing in the top of the strut. It also said it could be my sway bar bushes because the sway bar, like, you know how you look at something and, like, say for instance on this chisel, if we took that tape off on the chisel, you would see like a cleaner patch. You can see that on part of the sway bar plus on the bushes, meaning the fact that, you know, there's some sort of movement side to side going on there. So anyway, that needs doing. A bit up in arms on whether I lower it on some King springs, some Cobra springs, or some Dobie springs, just any springs. But because she's 18 years old, clocking up 20-year-old, people think, oh, that's not that old, but it's old enough when it comes to a car. I'm humming and hawing on whether I get the struts done. I might as well get the struts done, so I'll end up getting probably some Monroe short stock. Are they called short stocks? Short strut? Yeah, short strut suspensions. So they just help better with locking in and stopping the separation of the spring come warrant fitness time. As soon as that separates, you're done. So I'm just waiting to hear back from actually the shock shop. No, it's not sponsored or anything, so get out of here, brain. I don't have that kind of pull from anyone. Yeah, so the shock shop going out. I'm going to wait to hear back from them to get that work done. Expenny enough. Other thoughts, while I'm wearing a grubby ass hoodie, I was just tinkering before, which you'll see in another video with the water pressure sprayer. Merchandise. It wasn't something I really ever was going to talk about. I really had the thought of doing. I don't have a massive following. So whether merch is even a thing that people want. I have had one inquiry about merch off a long time person. That's a bit retarded. A long time, one of the boys, one of the lads going back to school. Well, my sister's, yeah, but we played a little bit of footy together for school. Shout out to you, Ruben. He had mentioned about getting a bit of merch out there. I'm assuming you wanted to buy it, bro. I don't know. So I have had that thought running through. Maybe I could do something like a short run of something. My wife actually dabbles a bit with the old cricket, if you know what a cricket is. It can do hot press. I can make t-shirts. Well, not make t-shirts, but put prints onto t-shirts, hoodies, or anything. Vinyl stencils, put onto cups, bottles, all that sort of stuff. Whether that's something people would like, maybe I'll just make it for myself and then I can wear them. Maybe a bit of gym apparel I could make for, maybe. I don't know. It was just a thought. Never really something I thought about getting into because there's a lot of admin around that. A lot of people say, "Oh, just put it on like a Shopify or print to go. I don't think that's the right word, but a lot of those things are, outside of New Zealand. And why are you going to go and do something like that overseas for it to come, to wait for it to come into the country? Anyway, I'm blabbing now. Good at that. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, so that's the update on the car. I do want to hold on to it. I do want to keep it. It does cost a bit in fuel to run. Just being a 3.6 V6 Alutech or Alutech, however you want to say it. Being the SV6, I wouldn't mind if it was the SIDO, which is the direct injection. However, I don't have one of those, so that's neither here or there. And I don't also have the V8, which I would love to have, and almost did buy a Calais VE Calais V about a month ago. But I was told that I better not do. Of course, like anyone, just as well I didn't, because as all of us around the world are having issues with is financials. And after doing a bit more old nut busting, not kind of the right words to say, number crunching, I worked out that I wasn't going to be able to afford it anyway. Maybe if I start making a bit of money on this stuff, it might help. Maybe I could fund my car through YouTube. Maybe a bit of crowdfunding. Get Casey in a V8. Give a little page. Okay, that's just been a bit. It's a bit not very sensible. It's a bit insensitive. People that really need it, actually. Anyway, like I said, blabbing. Yeah, other stuff that's coming up. Spin this bad boy around. If you can see, the trailer. The trailer's good. Don't worry about her. The Caravan. It's about time to crack the Caravan back out again. This recording is quite dark. The screen brightness has been reduced to extend back recording time. Okay. So I need to get into that. Got a fridge component I've got to sort out on that. That for some reason is not firing the fridge with the gas, which is a pain in one's backside. I do need to sort that out so we can get back on off-grid roading, because we do have solar panels. So in theory, we don't need to be plugged in, which is brilliant. I could probably try crack onto that now, to be fair, and see if that'll get its A into G. I do have some stuff here that goes with that, that I just need to remember. There's only two things, which is just a guard and an overspray, drip tray. So I might try cracking into that, might even record that one. Maybe you could be into that, maybe. Who knows, mate? This is all about life and growth, baby. Booyah. Catch you in the next one. Could be sooner than you think.